Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab and today's video, which is going to be a little chit chat, get ready with me, self-care moment, trying out new makeup combo video. Hopefully you're up for that. This is the look that I'm going to be creating, and for me makeup is self-care. I haven't taken the time to do that in a while, and so I thank you for joining me for today's video. As also part of self-care, I do enjoy fragrances. I enjoy home fragrances, but also perfumes, and so I wanted to share kind of my last step in my makeup application, which is going to be the application of fragrance, and I wanted to share the Dossier Perfumes with you. These are designer inspired fragrances, so they're going to be available to you at a more affordable price point, and they have fragrances that are inspired by a lot of really popular, very high costing scents. One of the ones that I elected to try, not this one, was the Fruity Jasmine, and I have this right here. It comes in this little box, and this is what the packaging looks like. It's super cute. Iconic scents, designer quality, no markups, and it also has a card. There's the perfume inside, and the card gives you information about it. Now, I was specifically talking about Fruity Jasmine because this one is inspired by Dior's J'adore, which is a perfume that I love. I've tried out infinite samples that come with my Sephora orders and things like that, but I haven't bit the bullet and made a purchase. And so when Dossier reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try a fragrance, this was my first choice. And I have to say, it smells very, very similar to the Dior J'adore fragrance. So if you like that kind of fragrance, a fruity floral kind of fragrance, I do recommend trying out this one. Each card does tell you the perfume that it's inspired by, as well as some notes. So this one is mandarin, green leaves, and sweet pea for top notes. Middle notes are jasmine, ylang ylang, champaca, and peach, and the base notes are sandalwood and plum musk. I really enjoy this one, but today I'm going to be trying on the Fruity Magnolia. So this one is inspired by Versace Bright Crystal Eau de Parfum. Here's what the bottle looks like. It's beautiful. It is a glass bottle. It has a magnetic closure, which is really nice. And I just think that it's really pretty. On the label, you do have the notes again. So for this one, you have top notes, pomegranate, yuzu, and aquatic accord. Middle notes, magnolia, peony, and rose. Base notes, amber, musk, and acaju wood. Not too sure about that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this one. I ended up really enjoying this one. I'm applying this one today because I'm actually filming in the evening. It's more of an evening scent in my opinion, and I really ended up liking this one. So this was the one that I tried for the first time, as I'd never tried the Versace version. But with the J'adore Dior perfume, I can attest to how similar it actually is. It smells so good. Even with just those two spritzes, it's definitely plenty, and it is a fragrance that lasts on me personally. I just enjoy a light scent, and both of these are really great. They're within the fruity floral family, and they do separate it into families, so you at least know where to start if you're not sure, because they have a very wide selection. When they sent me the products, they did give me a discount code to share with you. That's going to be Personal Beauty Lab 10, and I also have a link in the description box, which also includes that discount if you are interested in trying them out. They ship within the continental US, and it is a risk-free trial. If you don't enjoy the perfume, you simply send it back. So a big thank you to Dossier for gifting me the two perfumes. I really enjoyed them, and I just wanted to share them with you. Now, without any further delay, let's go ahead and get into this video, trying all kinds of new makeup and creating the look that you see. I've got a basket full of makeup that I've been purchasing, even though I haven't been wearing much makeup at all. And I thought that it would be a good opportunity to sit down and try everything together. One of the things I purchased recently is the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey palette, and this is the second installment of this kind of palette for her. She did one last holiday, which was really kind of bold metallic shades, and it included the different shades from the two Star Wars palette. The nice thing about this one is that even though it has some repeats, I think it's only 4 if I searched my collection correctly. So this one has 18 shades. You have a 12-month shelf life, and it is made in the US. Here's what the palette itself looks like. It's really pretty. It's got the shade names on the back, and similar setup to last year. It opens up and it kind of has those ribbons on the side to keep it open, and here are the shades. Compared to last year, I think that this one is a lot more wearable. Here are the two side by side. This is the older palette, and as you can see, it has a lot more jewel tone and really bold metallic, especially in the purple family. And like I said, this one is a little bit more neutral, and a lot of people might consider it more wearable. It's also significantly different than the original, and so even if you have the original one from last year, I think you might still enjoy purchasing the new one, which is why I went ahead and did that. As far as the shades, I did want to go ahead and let you know which ones are going to be repeated. There's two that are from the Pat McGrath Idols. I don't know if you remember, a couple years back, she released these single eyeshadows, and one is Corrupt Copper, which in this palette is the fourth one on the bottom. That's Corrupt Copper, so that would be a repeat shade. And the other one is Rose Venus, and that is your second shade right there. So those were released as Idols. When I bought those, I bought only the ones that were not already included in other palettes, and so I made sure to only buy the unique shades, and lo and behold, two of them are in here now. So I think I have 6 total, so about 4 of them have not since been repeated. There's one repeat shade from this palette. This is the Golden Opulence palette. I believe this was also around holiday last year. The repeated shade is going to be the shade Lotus Luxe, and in the new palette, Lotus Luxe is, let's see, it's going to be this third shade right there. So that one is in the Golden Opulence palette, and the other one comes from Midnight Sun, which is your Mothership 6, and this repeated one is Bronze Eclipse. And Bronze Eclipse is right there. So your repeated shades are going to be that one, that one, that one, and that one. I originally planned to do a review on the palette, and so I gathered that information, so I figure I may as well share it now. I'm going to go ahead and use the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This is the one that is translucent. I'm going to go ahead and apply that to my lids. I'm actually filming at, let's see, what time is it? 8 p.m. I started trying to film this video around, I want to say like 3. But since I haven't filmed in such a very long time, it took me forever to get my camera settings right. And to be honest, I'm still not quite sure if they're completely correct. My microphone battery had died and all of these things, but I was really determined to take the time out to film today because it is so important to take the time to do things that makes us happy. And this is something that really makes me happy and I enjoy doing. I'm going to start with Sunrose Amber. I'm not exactly sure what kind of an eye look I'm doing today, but I do want to do something a little bit smoky. I was leaning towards something more cool tone, so I'll probably use some of the cool tone metallics to have the look pull a little bit more on the cool tone side, because the mattes that are there, they're more on the warm side, and I'm a little paranoid to use the pinks because everything will turn immediately pink. So I'm using a Rephr number 27, and I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my outer V as well as the crease area. So I thought a get ready with me trying new makeup was going to be the best kind of video to come back and do, because I haven't filmed in quite some time. I just haven't been able to. I haven't had the energy, and then I'm always prioritizing something else. There's always something that you have to do that kind of takes the place of the things you want to do. But makeup is something that I enjoy so much. And even though I haven't been doing makeup, I certainly haven't stopped buying it. And so I have a lot of makeup that I really would like to try and share with you. So I wanted to get back into the filming routine. I did take another break not that long ago, actually, like maybe around the holiday time. And at that time I mentioned how my dog is really sick. And you know, it's not just that he's sick. He's essentially paralyzed waist down. He has a really bad back. He's an older dog, so he's going on 14 years old now. And he's a Shih Tzu, and taking care of him has really become a round the clock kind of thing, where even with 3 people in the house, it's still really, really challenging. I mentioned to you guys last time that the vet already had the talk with us, but the way I see it is he doesn't have use of his back legs, but he still eats. He still responds to us. He's also incontinent now, so we have him wearing like male wraps, which are basically like dog diapers. But since he doesn't walk very well, if we leave him unattended, he kind of drags himself with his front paws sometimes, and then the diaper will slide off and he might, you know, have an accident in the house, which is fine. I mean, we just clean it up, but sometimes he's like on the sofa, and those accidents are a little harder to clean up. So for the most part, he just requires really round the clock care. And at night, he sometimes cries. So he'll cry if he's thirsty, and sometimes he just cries and we have no idea why. Like, we try everything. We make sure he's dry, we make sure he's comfortable, but sometimes he just won't stop, and so our nights are really long at times. And then I have to get up and go to work in the morning. So with all of this happening, I haven't missed a single day of work. I feel bad because I haven't filmed, but this is not my job, right? So I've actually been attending my job all the time. I haven't taken any time off, and that includes on days that I had to take Ricky, that's my dog, to the vet, and you know, I've just been chugging along. But again, I get caught up on all those things I have to do that I haven't been making time for things I want to do, and that's why I'm doing this today, even if it's 8 p.m. That shade applied beautifully. I'm going to go into the shade Nocturne, and I'm going to use a rougher number 01 for that, and I'm just going to deepen the outer V. Those two colors go really well together. Wow, this color builds really fast. So, you know, we've been in and out of the vet with Ricky, and she has told us on more than one occasion that she does not know of any other family that would be taking care of their pet kind of to this extreme, I guess. And it's just the way that I see it is, if he were human, which to me he is, he's been with me for 13 years. So to me he is, he's been with me through a lot of really difficult situations, through like divorce and just so much. So I feel like I owe it to him. And if he were human, we wouldn't just pull the plug on our people because, you know, they can't walk very well or they're incontinent. We just wouldn't. And so I'm having a really hard time kind of making that call. And so in the meantime, we're still taking care of him. But at some point, you know, we have to kind of decide when we are just, when the effort, you know, and quality of life, all those things you have to consider. It's sad. I don't want to talk about that. But basically, that's been consuming a lot of my free time out of work. And then there's also been some family issues, which I don't want to mention too much either, because obviously that would involve other people, and I wouldn't want to share that kind of information about others. But it's also been really trying and really wearing. But I keep telling myself, you know, in light of all of those things, I haven't missed a single day of work. I've kept going with other things, and so I keep telling myself, kind of like Kris Jenner, like, you're doing amazing, sweetie. That's how I feel about how I'm doing right now, even though it's a struggle. You know, I have to be my own cheerleader. So like I said, I kind of wanted to gear towards cool tones, so I'm leaning towards these two metallics. This one is such a pretty color, but I also like that purpley one. I'm thinking maybe I'll apply the purpley one more on the inside and the more green on the outside. So that green one, it's not really green, it's more like a greeny silver. It's called Palladium. Look at that. Just gonna apply it right here. I've even given up on doing my nails, you guys. Like, I was doing my nails so frequently, but since I'm using like regular polishes and they just don't last too long, and with all the constant hand washing and everything else, they start to look chipped and a little unkempt, which I don't like. So I figure in that sense, it's probably better to just have them short and natural. But definitely for doing eyeshadow like this makes it a lot easier. I'm going to take a little bit of that purpley one, and I'm going to apply it with my pinky since I want to kind of stick to the inner corner of my eye. These are applying so nicely. I hadn't even swatched them. This is such a pretty color. It's like silvery, but it's a little bit purple, a little bit pink, I would say. And so I feel like it gives the look a little bit of a visual interest. I want to give it a semi-cut crease appearance, so I'm using a rougher number 21 brush to just kind of clean up the edges a little bit. I went in a little higher than I wanted to, but that's okay. I had actually purchased, let's see, this what is it called? The Intensifeyes Artistry wand, and I thought I was going to use it for some of these metallics, but honestly, I'm applying them completely dry and they are giving me a lot of payoff. Like, they look really pretty. On the other side, I'm going into the shade Palladium and I'm just kind of blending between the two, and then we'll touch up the mattes. Yeah, so I think that Intensifeyes wand would probably be more for her astral shades that are a little more flaky and have a little bit more fallout. Going into the darker shade Nocturne again, I'm going to go ahead and do the outer part, just deepening it up, and I want to kind of get that V shape. Yeah, that's better. Lifts my eye a little bit. I actually don't think I need more. This one is really a pigmented color. Let's go ahead and do some wing liner. I have this one from Eyeko, which is called, let's see, it says Alexa for Eyeko. It's the I Do Liquid Eyeliner. And this is a ridiculously huge package. Like, look at the liner itself and then the packaging. I do recycle these things, but it's still pretty excessive packaging. I guess that this was in collaboration with Alexa Chung. It says that it's pitch black and waterproof, so it doesn't move even on the waterline. I figured I'd go ahead and use that since it is really, really huge packaging and it's taking up a lot of space in my storage. I think I got this in a subscription box because I don't remember purchasing it. And actually, I don't hear too much about this brand. It's a felt tip marker, which I don't really mind, but it should have some flexibility, and then I'm noticing that it's already feeling dry. I mean, in its defense, it could be that it's been sitting in my makeup collection for so long, but I never opened it. It's also not very black. I'm not loving this right now. This is pretty much a full face of first impressions at this point. Yeah, so just from having used it in the other eye, I feel like the shadows are transferring to the felt tip and it's not staying wet. In terms of felt tip liners, I like the one from Stila. I like the one from Benefit a lot. Yeah, you guys, this is, let's see. Yeah, I cannot. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. I'm going to probably declutter that immediately. I'm going to use this one that I've had, it was gifted to me by Makeup Revolution, and I've had it in my collection quite some time. It is also a felt tip, but it's one of those that you can dip back into the well, and then also the felt tip also has a lot more flexibility. I'll have everything linked below because I'm not seeing the exact name for this product. It's just by Revolution and it's the eyeliner in black. I had to go ahead and go over this one with the Revolution one. Let me know if I just have a bad one because, again, it's been in my collection so long, but I never opened it. My room is very cool, so I don't think it would have evaporated. It's a no for me. I want to go ahead and use this MoxieLash set. I unboxed it on a BoxyCharm and a lot of you were curious about it. I have played with it in the past. It comes with the MoxieLash Sassy Lash. It comes with some like castor oil remover swabs. These are actually quite pricey on their own. And to be honest, like, makeup remover is able to take away the eyeliner anyway. And then it came with a tiny sample of their magnetic liner. I would have preferred having a full size of this and passing on the remover swabs. I mean, they work, but it's just not necessary if you use like a makeup melt away kind of balm. So like I said, I was practicing with this in a different, well, it was in a video I tried to film, but it was a fail. And one of the things that I realized is you do not want to apply mascara before you do this. And the liner also takes some time to dry. I also don't recommend just using this as your liner exclusively because it's kind of goopy and the applicator is not really thin. It could be because they give such a teeny tiny one, but I don't know. I just feel like the product itself is really thick. And last time I had already applied mascara. Oh my goodness, this is getting bigger. See, I kind of went a little too thick there, but it's just hard to control. Even though the felt tip is small, the product is so thick that it just globs on. But then again, you have to have enough so that the lashes stick. They do stick though, and fairly well. I wore them the entire day. Even though the video was a fail, the makeup was kind of nice, and I did decide to wear them all day, but now you know this isn't my first time trying these, and so I can kind of give you my feedback. Now, I don't know about other brands, if the other brands have such a liner that is so thick, and that's why I don't recommend doing your actual eyeliner with this. I still feel the best option is to learn how to use glue, but one advantage is when you're using glue, sometimes you pull out your eyelashes when you're removing it if you're not super careful, and sometimes I'm not because I'm impatient. So this is a really nice way to, you know, use false lashes, and then you can get a lot of uses out of them too, because you don't have to kind of crimp them to your natural lash. At least I don't think so. I'm gonna go in with a touch of mascara now. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury. This is a sample of the push-up lashes. I used this in another video and I was so impressed. Again, I'm not sure if it's a video that you actually saw. I've had so many fails. I have tried, but I've had so many fails. But I was really impressed with the separation and length that I got from this mascara that I went ahead and I purchased the full size. But I still have this mini and it still works, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply it now. What you're seeing right now is some of the goopy eyeliner that's making my eyelashes kind of stick together. But if I'm not gonna wear false lashes, this mascara is really, really nice. It gives me really nice separation and length. So that's what it looks like with a couple of coats of the mascara. This isn't going to be the best demo of this because I have like magnetic liner on my lashes and a couple of layers of eyeliner as well that's making them a little bit goopy. But this I really enjoy. I'm still going to let the liner dry. It's really important that the liner dries before you put on the lashes. So I'm going to go ahead and use the swabs just so that you can see what they look like to clean out the outer edge. There's nothing really special about the ingredients here. It's just 50% olive oil, 50% castor oil. And they just come individually wrapped like that. What I ended up doing with those swabs was just basically just wiping the lashes with it because, like I said, the magnetic liner just goes off with my regular makeup remover. I'm using a little bit of the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I got this as a Sephora sample, and that's good because I don't love it. I think it's fine, but I don't enjoy anything super sticky. I do like the Ciate Watermelon Primer, which I still have like a full bottle of that plus another sample size. And I like that one much better because I feel that it's a better combination of tack and hydration. This one to me is just, it's almost like glue. Like my skin feels, you can see it pulling my chubby cheeks. It's good in the sense that your foundation will adhere to your face, but like I said, I just don't like really tacky things. I'm just gonna work my way through that one. I have a new foundation to try. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator, and I was hearing a lot of people give this a good review. I picked up the shade number 41, which is light medium. That's usually the range in which I'll go for when I'm trying out new foundations. So it's just a squeezy tube, which I like. And there's the consistency. That's probably more than enough. You guys know I don't like to use too much foundation. So this is supposed to be up to 24-hour glow with a dewy, juicy finish, which I love. Up to 24-hour wear. Weightless medium coverage, looks fresh all day. It says it has kombucha filtrate and marula oil, and it is vegan. So this one has 1.1 fluid ounces. I do like the packaging. I think it's really pretty, and I like that that carries over to the packaging itself. And to apply it, I'm going to use this brush from Koyudo. This is the, I believe it is called the Fupa brush. I will link the exact one in the description box down below in case you're interested in checking this one out. It is the Fupa O2 brush, and it comes in a couple of different sizes, and this is the bigger one. It's the bigger one, but yet it's kind of small. And let me get it out of here. So just looking at the brush, it reminds me a lot of the Sonia G Jumbo Base Brush, which I did a review of these brushes. I really love them, but in terms of the brush head, they're super, super similar. So if you have this one already, I don't necessarily think you need to pick up this one, but this is one that I saw Mel Thompson use on her channel, and she really liked it, and I wanted to try it. Which kind of brings me to part of the reason why I'm filming this video is, as all of you probably already know, Mel passed away about 2 weeks ago now. And, you know, I didn't know her personally, but I felt like I did because I watched her channel religiously. I've watched her since she had maybe like 10,000 subscribers. And you know, she's one that always, she stayed the same. Like, she didn't go through that change. I don't know if you notice, like, sometimes when people make it really big, they kind of go through this change. But she was always very, she struck me as very genuine, very honest, very caring and hardworking. And, you know, she was a big part of the reason I decided to start my YouTube channel. I just found her so inspiring. And now we've lost her, and it's shocking to have someone pass away kind of so suddenly and so young. And I think it's so sad. Like, even though some time has passed since I learned of what happened, like, I'm still shocked. Like, you don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe something like that. And I'm still watching her videos, and it's even more surreal to think that, you know, there aren't going to be any new ones. And like I said, I had been watching all her videos, so I knew she was posting and sharing a few personal things, like health struggles she was facing, the struggles her family was facing. And it's just thinking about that, like, I feel so bad for her family, for those that really knew her, you know, personally, her children, but like especially her mother, who, based on my watching her videos, she buried her own brother, right, her mother's brother, her father, and now her daughter, and then she was suffering from cancer as well. Like, there's just so many things you don't understand about that, and I guess it's not for us to understand, but it's really sad. And it opens your eyes that, you know, tomorrow is never promised. So you should really take advantage of today. And a lot of you reached out to me, Lauren and Britt. So Jessica, Danny, Lit Artistry, which I only know you by your Instagram username. And I apologize if you mentioned your name before. It just escapes me at the moment. But Carol and Carmen, just so many of you, which reminds me that, you know, I built a little community here, and it's something I love so much. And I've gotten to know some of you, you know, through your comments or your messages, and it's so nice. And I didn't want to miss out on that because I'm caught up on the things I have to do, because, you know, tomorrow is not promised. And kind of in Mel's memory, I wanted to take advantage of today because I still have it. And I also wanted to remember to do the things I enjoy, because, you know, it's great that I get my work done and I take a lot of pride in that, but it can't just be all work. You know, it can't just be all the heavy. And that's why I'm back today. So with regards to the brush, it's great. Like, it spreads foundation really, really nicely. But if you do have the Sonia G one, which I know a lot of you are Sonia G fans just like I am, it's really, really similar. So Mel was right about this one, as she was about most makeup. With the foundation, it's a little bit darker than I would have liked. I think I would have liked like a little bit lighter. I barely used any foundation. Why do I keep buying foundations when makeup hoarder? But yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's definitely lightweight. I'm sure I could probably build it up a little bit more. It looks very natural in terms, like, it looks very skin-like. I've got to wipe the foundation off of my face. I don't know how people can leave foundation on their lips. Not my face, obviously I meant my lips. I've seen like Bailey do it, and I've seen Nikki tutorials do it, and other people do it. They kind of blank out their lips with foundation. I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. Meaning having it on my lips, not what they're doing. If it works for you, great. But for me, oh, it's so uncomfortable. I think it's because my lips are really dry. Let's go ahead and put the lashes on. Here's the style that I have. It's the style Sassy, and I like them. They are a little bit longer than I would normally use. But like I said, I got these in my BoxyCharm, so it's not something I picked out for myself. But you can see, like, they're already on. Like, they're fully attached, and you can take them on and off. Like, I could take them right off, see? And then put them right back on. So if you don't position it exactly where you would like to have it, you can move it around, which is not something you can do with glue. And I know a lot more brands are making this style of lash, which is really cool, including like drugstore brands. I haven't tried any of those, so I don't know how they might work, but if they work anything like these, I mean, it's pretty good. Kind of want to bring this one a little further out. So you see, I just take it off and reposition. And because I have the wing liner, it disguises the magnets pretty well, I think. I'll let you take a look. I have another brand that sent me a magnetic lash, so I'll try those in my next video, and that way I can compare them. But I know these are the ones that I showed you in my unboxing, and you guys were very curious to see how they work. I mean, they work. So let's go ahead and move to the concealer. This is another ridiculously large package. This is from Nudestix, and they always do these tins, which at first it was, you know, mildly amusing to have the tins all the time because you can store other things in it and yada yada. But man, after a while, I kind of have a lot of these. I mean, they come with a mirror and everything. I think I saw Wayne Goss with this concealer, and he really liked it some time ago. So it says it's a cream concealer, helps heal while concealing skin blemishes, darkness, and redness, lightweight, oil-free, long-wearing, buildable nude finish. So this one has a 12-month shelf life, made in Korea, and I picked up the shade number 4. Looking at it in the packaging, it's looking a little bit light, but since my foundation is a little bit dark, then hopefully it will work itself out. I didn't want to pick up the shade number 5 because that one looked really dark, so we'll see. I like the doe foot applicator. Reminds me of my favorite Urban Decay, the weightless concealer, Naked Skin, I think it was called. I still have one of those in my makeup collection because I remember when I heard that it was being discontinued. It was my favorite at the time, and I wanted to buy it back up. And lo and behold, I still have it, which is fine. I mean, I'm not sorry. I really do like that concealer. It's great. Well, this blended out super easily, very, very easily. I'm really impressed. My beauty blender isn't even that damp anymore because it took me so long to set up for this video that even though I had wet it, it's practically dry by now. This is really nice. Yeah, I like it. It's really nice, really lightweight, really easy to blend. I do have another brush that I wanted to try. This one is the Makeup by Mario, and he released these when he released those like stick bronzers. And Makeup by Cheryl, who was really raving about this brush, and like Britt says, I never met a brush I didn't want to buy. Something like that, she said, which is so funny. I love makeup brushes. As I understand it, this was to be his take on the It Cosmetic dual-ended brush. So this one has a little bit of an angle. It's very soft. Yeah, both sides are a little bit angular, whereas the It Cosmetic one, it's more flat. I mean, it's rounded, but it's flattened. And this one has a little bit of an angle. So I'm just going into the inner corner. It's really nice, very soft. I'm kind of go around my nose a little. You know, the concealer doesn't appear to be creasing or anything, but I do want to set it. It's one of the main areas of my face that I do prefer to set all the time, just because my under eye or my trouble area. But I have to say the concealer is looking really good on its own. I have this one size powder, And I'm going to use it to set the concealer. I'm going to use the Beauty Blender. Like, I'm just going to use the edge because I used this powder with a brush and I didn't like it. I thought it made my under eyes look really crepey, but I've continued to see people use this powder and really enjoy it. So I wanted to give it another shot in a different style. Like, I'm not going to bake with it or anything like that, but I'm just kind of stamping it on. Yeah, that looks much better. Actually, I mean, the concealer looked better without the powder, to be honest, but this looks much better than the day that I set it using a brush. And I mean, I used the lightest hand, but for some reason, it just, I don't know. I liked it a lot more like that. And I like that Beauty Blender is super small, so it allows me to get closer to my under eye. So yeah, it's better applied with a sponge in my opinion. With a brush, it was too cakey. Yeah, I didn't like it with a brush, so I'm glad I tried it again. The next thing I'm gonna try, I'm really excited about. This is by Illamasqua, and it's not something that's that easy to get in the US. So I think you can order this from maybe Look Fantastic. Yeah, I think that's where I was about to order it from, but I saw it in a BoxyCharm pop-up. Well, first let me tell you where I first saw it. I first saw it on Ratolina's channel, and Ratolina is a Spanish beauty content creator. And she was doing a video on her favorite kind of luxury products that were worth the money, and she included this. It is the Illamasqua Gel Sculpt, and this one is in the shade Silhouette. So it comes in 2 different shades and 2 different sizes. So there is a mini, but this one is the full size. It just happened to be that the BoxyCharm pop-up had the exact shade and the large size that she mentioned. So I love her channel. I love listening to her because she has the Spanish from Spain accent with the and she says esto. Like, I don't know, they have a for like sounds or Z sounds. It sounds so exotic even though it's still Spanish. But she was using this and it looks so scary. And she mentioned that it looks scary, but supposedly it blends out really easily, and she prefers to use it with no foundation, she said. Should I paint it on? I got nowhere to go anyways. Okay, yeah, see, look. Look at how light it is. It's like, it feels like gel, like it's actually cold. And I mean, that's what it's called, right? Gel Sculpt. This one has 8 grams, and it's made in Thailand. And I'm just gonna kind of contour with it and see what happens. Yeah, it's definitely cold. So I'll try the other end of the Makeup by Mario brush and see how easily this might blend out, because this brush is super soft. Usually to blend out like cream contour, unless it's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand, I will use something a little bit more firm. But look, isn't that crazy? I mean, that's pretty good. Look, look what it looks like now. Yeah, and apparently you can let it sit on your skin too and it's still gonna blend out. Looking at it on camera, the color is a little warmer than I usually use for contour, but it's still more of a sculpting shade than a bronzing shade. Let's go in with a little bit more, kind of up here. No, I'll just use bronzer on my hairline. But the color is just, it's really scary when you first see it. But so far it's applying really nicely. I can definitely see this on, no foundation days. But yeah, it blends out super easily. I believe that this one is the lighter of the 2 shades. I mean, hopefully, considering, that I'm more of a light medium skin tone, and it's blending fairly well. It also looks like it's a little bit buildable too. But she was so excited about this on her video that I knew it was something I really wanted to try, and so far it's pretty good. I do kind of want to do a little bit of a nose contour, so I'm going to see how it applies if I go directly with a brush. Yeah, you can definitely pick it up with a brush. You can see it. I'm getting awfully glam just to go to bed. But that's okay. I didn't notice before, but it has a perfume smell. Yeah, it has like a citrus perfume smell. It smells good. Very interesting product. I'm gonna keep that little cap just because I want it to last as long as possible. The packaging is not, it's nothing fancy, it's just plastic, but it's pretty nice. And it's such a lucky break that I saw it come up in the BoxyCharm pop-up, because I was gonna pay I think it was like $30 that the thing cost. just because she hyped it up so much and I was so curious. Let's go ahead and finish the lower lash line. Basically, I'm going to use that shade kind of like towards the inner corner, and then I'll just smoke out the darker brown underneath as well, just to kind of finish the look. I'm using a rougher 23 brush. I keep hearing from a lot of the people that are on the rougher PR lists. I think I heard it from Charlotte Holcroft and Babs Beauty, that they're coming out with some new brushes for holiday, and I'm really excited. I have all their brushes. Like, I was actually just going through my entire collection and I noticed that I have so many that are in this format. They're still from Refer and they're not prototypes, but they have the silver ferrule and the regular handle. And I wish I had them all like this, but when I purchased that set, that's just how they sent it to me. Like, I think you could have selected to have the traditional style or the, I think they were calling that for like makeup artists or something, because they had a longer handle and, you know, the more traditional ferrule and stuff. But I think I had ordered these, or this was my intention, to have them all look the same, because you guys know how I am about wanting things like just so, oh my gosh, it drives me crazy. So I'm hoping that their sale includes some of those other brushes in the typical finish, because I know like all the, like, I think it was 12 and beyond, like there's a little group there where I have them all in that style with the metal ferrule, and I think that now they just do this one. So if you happen to see me use one of the other ones, they do still make the brushes, they look a little bit different. But yeah, I would really like to get the other ones, but I don't know, trying to watch that spending as well. This is such a teeny tiny baby pencil brush. I love using small brushes because of my eyes being so small. I can really do a lot of detail work. And now I'm just taking that original brush that I used. I'm not putting any additional product. I'm just going to blend out the under eye. I went ahead and I put a little bit of mascara on my lower lash line. I don't like the Charlotte Tilbury for the lower lash line as much. I still prefer the MAC Giga Black mascara for the lower lash line, another finding that I owe to Mel. And then I put this eyeliner in the waterline to open up my eyes a bit. This is the NARS Larger Than Life in the shade Rue Bonaparte. Let's go ahead and finish off the face makeup. I know I'm moving at a snail's pace, but I'm having a lot of fun putting the makeup on, and why not take my time and enjoy the process? Right now my boyfriend is watching Ricky, and so I'm able to have these couple of hours to myself. So this is the new Hourglass Holiday Palette. The one I'm going to be using today is the Ambient Lighting Edit. This is the Universe. This is the lighter of the two. I did purchase the other one as well. I'm really glad to see that Hourglass came out with two options. One of them slightly deeper, but more importantly, the trio of ambient lighting powders. They finally, long overdue, came out with a selection of shades for deeper skin tones. So here is what this one looks like. They did change the packaging. This is really heavy. Some people are saying that they didn't like it, that they felt it was cheap. I don't know, like the weight alone makes it kind of luxe for me, and I like it. I think it's really pretty. I believe that these shades are new. Let's see, and it is the bronzer that is existing to their line. You can let me know in the comment section if you're better informed, but I'm going to go ahead and use this palette to finish off my makeup look. And I'm going to go ahead and go into the bronzer. I have this brush by Refer I've used in the past. This one is the number 24. And let me start here where I would want the most product, just in case it applies really heavily. That's a nice shade. I don't think that I have it in my collection. I don't have any of their bronzers in singles. I just have what they have issued in palettes in the past. I'm going to go ahead and use that highlighter before I apply my blush. And I'm going to use one of those rougher brushes. So this one is the number 20. And like I said, this one might look a little bit different than yours. Like the handles are a bit longer. And I think they even had like a longer handle than this for like makeup artists when they're working on other people. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this on my cheeks. It feels a little bit powdery, but I don't have any setting powder or anything. Let me kind of pick it up on this side. Very pretty. The powders are blending really well. Even over the Unset foundation. Alright, so for my blush, I'm going to go in with what I think is a very, very nude lipstick. Let's go ahead and apply this one. That's the more mauve-y of the two. That one is called Luminous Rose. It's actually a little deeper than I anticipated, but it'll do. I also brought it a little further down than I would have liked, but again, we got nowhere to go. I'm gonna go ahead and do a final buff with that powder. I've seen some people mention that it's almost glittery. I see some sparkles in there, but I wouldn't call it glittery. So I'm just gonna focus most of it on my cheeks and kind of see the effect. So I'm seeing luminosity. Whether I would be sparkling in natural daylight remains to be seen, but not tonight since it's already 9:30 p.m. Right, so we used every shade in the palette except for that blush. So I went ahead and removed the lip balm, and we're going to use this lip. It's called a dual lip pencil, and this one is by Esam Cosmetics, which is the brand by Muse. I'm assuming that I got this from some of their sales that they have. I like to order a lot of my Viseart palettes from them, and a lot of times they have like little bundles that include products like this. So it's my first time trying it. It has two shades. Oh, I see. It's just called Nude, and I guess that applies to both colors. But you can see that it's dual-sided, and on one end you have the lighter color, and the other end you have a deeper color. I'm going to go ahead and use the lighter of the two. This is really creamy, and I like that it's sharpenable. I love that it comes with two shades. It's a really good color for me. I'm tempted to kind of cover my entire lip with it because I know the lipstick I have is really nude, or so I've heard, but I don't want to alter the lip color too much. So let's just run with it. I'll just line it. I like the color. It's really neutral. Very nice. And so now we're at the final product. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Super Nudes collection, and this one is in the shade Cover Star. So I've heard from a lot of people that this is really, really nude, but it's also getting really positive reviews that I actually had to wait because it was sold out on the Sephora website. And this is what it looks like. Let's try it. It smells good. Oh yeah, it's really nude. Goodness, my lips are so dry, and I literally just had balm on them. I like the lip combo. I just want to deepen the liner a little bit. It's going really easily over the lipstick too. So I think that this is going to be the finished look. I like it. Not bad. I'm going to go ahead and use this setting spray. This is the Ciate London Everyday Vacay. So this is the finished look. I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. Again, I don't really have anywhere to go, but I had a great time applying the makeup. Let's do a quick rundown so I can let you know how I feel about the products. We'll go ahead and start with the palette. I think the palette performed beautifully, just as you would expect any Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. Of course, these do not have the astral shades, but her matte and metallic formula is also really, really nice. I also understand that some of these might be brand new finishes. So the three shades right here, Bronze Nova, and then it's Heavenly Body and Citrine Envy. They're supposed to be, I think it's called a 24 karat duochrome sparkle. I don't recall at this moment having seen that formula in her other palettes, but I could be wrong. I just kind of wanted to draw attention to those. I didn't use them in today's demo, so I'm not exactly sure how they perform, but even just looking at the texture, they look slightly different. Like I said, there's going to be 4 repeated shades, 2 from other palettes, and then 2 from the Idols collection. I know not a lot of people bought the Idols collection, so you may not already have that, and now you have it in the palette. It performed really nicely. I like the shades that I used. I used only, 4 shades to create this eye look, but I think it performed beautifully. I applied the metallics with my finger, completely dry, and with a brush, and I think that the finished look is really, really pretty. Because I've used her palettes in the past, I'm confident recommending this one. Again, I know I'm late to the party, but if you wanted my 2 cents, there they are. The Hourglass palette is really nice. If you already have some of these palettes, this isn't going to really be that different in my opinion. There's blushes, bronzers, highlights. With face products, I feel like they're not that easily distinguishable. So if you have any of the older holiday palettes, then I would say probably continue to enjoy those. If you do really like them and you get a lot of use out of them, like you're hitting pan, then I think that this is a good one as well. And I like that there's two options for us to choose from, and both of them include newer shades. Everything performed really nicely. You can see how it looks and how it applied to my face. I really like the updated packaging. Some people were saying that they didn't like it, but I think it's really nice, and I still feel that it communicates that luxury kind of price tag that Hourglass has. If you are interested in trying out Hourglass, this is a great way to do it, even though if you consider this like cost per gram, it's not the most affordable way, but at least you get to try a variety of their products. The setting spray was really nice. The mister is not the best. I prefer the mister on something like the Glow Recipe. I think that has a beautiful mist, or even the Morphe spray, which is more aerosol, but this was nice. It set my makeup fine. I can't really speak to longevity, but I can tell you about the scent. You have to enjoy a coconut scent to enjoy this. My lip combo was great. I will let you know, if you were thinking of picking up the shade Cover Star, it is quite nude and it pulls a little bit more cool tone than you would expect. I think that it worked out really well with the lip combo. I personally chose to use it, but just know that it's going to be really light, and you probably will want to use a lip liner with this to avoid that concealer lip look, unless that's what you enjoy. I really like the Esam Duo lip pencil in the shade Nude. I only used the lighter of the two shades, but it was very creamy, and I like how it goes with that lipstick. When I make a purchase from Muse Beauty, I will definitely check out their other colors because these are really nice. The foundation I really enjoyed. Again, I've only used it once. I definitely agree with the lightweight feel. I don't feel it on my skin. I'm not seeing it creasing anywhere. I didn't set it, and powders layered over it really nicely. Even when I was applying my powders, I didn't feel that my face was sticky in any kind of way. So it really sets nicely if you're one that doesn't like to set your makeup, which I usually don't set it. I think the fact that it has marula oil, it's going to be favoring more dry to normal skin types. I'm not sure how someone with oily skin might enjoy this one, but again, I've only worn it one time. All I can say is I wish I had picked up a slightly lighter shade. I picked up the shade 41. So if we're shade twins, just kind of keep that in mind and maybe swatch out in store. With the Nudestix concealer, I really liked it. I like the shade number 4. I thought that it was really good without being too crazy brightening underneath my eyes. If you don't like to set your eyes, this one was behaving really well before I set it. And even afterwards, I feel that it's still looking really nice underneath my eyes. I like the applicator as well. It's one of those flat doe foot applicators. And I like the container. I like the packaging. I don't like the outer packaging that it comes with. It kind of creates a lot of waste and occupies a lot of space, but the concealer itself seems to be behaving quite well. Let's see. Let's talk about the MoxieLashes. The only thing I'd really pass on are the castor oil swabs. I don't think that this is a necessity, and they're quite pricey on their own. Again, regular makeup remover can take care of that for you. I don't super love the applicator because of the nature of the liner itself being really thick. You're going to want to layer this over another liner kind of as a guide, and you will definitely need to wear eyeliner with it underneath. I feel like if you were to wear this eyeliner on its own, you would never get a nice wing or a nice line. It's much better to kind of make a guide for yourself with another eyeliner. And the lashes, they work really well. I think they perform very nicely, and it's a good way to try out false lashes if you're a beginner and you don't want to mess around with the glue. Even though these are far more dramatic than I normally wear, they are light, and even though I can feel them on my eyes, they're not bothersome. But to someone who's using lashes for the first time, you're gonna feel them. The NARS Rue Bonaparte liner is one that I've used in the past. It's in my waterline. It's great. It's one of the twist ups, which I personally prefer sharpenable, but I bought that one kind of before I made that distinction. It still works really nicely. Usually if it dries up, I kind of warm it up on the back of my hand a little bit, and then I kind of get it going. The NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base, I have used this several times now, so it's not my first time this time. I believe it might be my first time with Pat McGrath shadows, but it performs really nicely. I didn't set this, and the other shadows, and the shadows layered nicely and blended nicely over it, I thought. This one is the translucent one, and I believe that this one does come in shades. So if you're one that likes to blank out your eyelids, if you have a lot of discoloration, which I do, but I brought my eyeshadow high enough that you really can't see it today, they do come in shades. And so I haven't tried those, but the translucent one is pretty good. The Charlotte Tilbury mascara I really liked. I told you I went ahead and I bought the full size. Don't really like it on the lower lash line, but for the eyelashes, it gives you a really nice lengthening and separated look, which is what I prefer. I can't speak to curling because my lashes are naturally curly. So if you have lashes that are kind of downturned or straight, you might want to check out more reviews on that one to see how it holds a curl. I really can't speak to that. The Illamasqua Gel Sculpt, it was nice. I mean, I think I'm a little bit sculpted. It's not as dramatic as if I were using like a true contour product, but it blended really nicely. It feels cooling on the skin. It didn't lift my foundation. I thought the shade was really good despite how intimidating it looks in the packaging. I'm glad I got to try it out. Am I as excited about it as Ratolina was? Not at this point, but I'm going to try it a few times with a combination of other products, including on days that I don't wear foundation, and see how I like it. But it's a really lightweight formula, yet it does deposit pigment. Like when you apply it, it's very thin and gel-like. It's a really interesting formula. So that was the Gel Sculpt by Illamasqua. Very interesting product. I'm glad I got to try it out from the BoxyCharm pop-up. If I had paid full price for it, I might have felt disappointed at this point, but I don't feel disappointed just yet, so I'll keep trying it out. The Eyeko, that's where I draw the line eyeliner. This is a hard pass. This was the one fail from today's try-on. The Patrick Star One Size Powder, I liked it much better the way I applied it today with a sponge, applying it directly to my under eyes. I felt that that gave a better result. Is it my favorite under eye powder? No, and I definitely wouldn't be purchasing a full size, especially you saw how little I use. Even this is going to last me a really long time. The Revolution eyeliner I've used in the past, and I talked about it at length. The Milk Makeup Primer, I'm glad I got to try it. I do feel like it gave my skin a little bit of tack, but once I applied the foundation over it, I couldn't feel it anymore. It is comfortable. I think as far as what a primer is supposed to do, it's doing that, but I prefer primers to be more hydrating and also a little bit on the dewy side to give me like extra glow. And that was not the case for this one, but I knew that already, and I intentionally wanted to see what the finish of the foundation was kind of on its own. And I would describe the foundation as more of a natural finish. Like people are saying that it's really dewy and really glowy. I just feel like I have like natural finish right now. Last but not least, the Dossier Perfume. I really enjoy these. I really like the price point. I like how much product you get. I've actually had this for about a month and I've been using it, and yet you can see that I haven't even like made a dent in the top of it. I really enjoyed this one. Of the two that I selected, Fruity Magnolia was my favorite. So that link will be in the description box if you're interested in checking out Dossier. I've seen them featured on other channels that I watch as well, so I'm really excited I got to try it. And I think it's a really great way to try out a lot of fragrances at a more affordable price. So a big thank you to them for sending me out the two fragrances. I'm really enjoying them. That's everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope that you will give it a big thumbs up. I look forward to reading all your comments in the comment section down below, and to hear what you thought about the products that I used. If you've tried them out, I would love to hear your experiences as well. Thank you also for sharing this little self-care moment with me. It was about time I took the time, and I hope that you're taking the time to do something nice for yourself as well. So go ahead and take care of yourself. Thank you so much for still being here with me. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon on my next one. Bye-bye.